I gather you all here today to talk about the 2025 Grammys. Now, I watch the Grammys every single year, ever since I was a little kid, and this is definitely one of the most memorable ones. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, or a lot of the people at the Grammys this year were young, and a lot of young artists, and I knew most of them. It could be those things, it could be none of those things, but I just know that the Grammys this year were pretty good. Like, I know there's gonna be haters for everything, but I actually enjoyed it a lot because I knew, like, most of the people. And again, maybe it is because I'm getting older, and there's so many younger adults and newer artists, and I was so here for it. I just want to talk about my own thoughts, my own views about the Grammys. Honestly, just what was going through my brain while I was watching the show. Now, I have my little notebook because I wrote down everything I wanted to talk about, all my points. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is probably the biggest thing that I took away, and that is Billie Eilish not winning anything. Now, I was pretty sad because I was rooting for her in every single category that she was nominated in. I really wanted her to win Album of the Year, and I actually made a video about this. If you want to check it out on my channel, I have a video that's called, like, Billie Eilish should win Album of the Year. So I literally made a whole video on it, and I really was rooting for her. Beyoncé winning, I thought, was also, like, cool too. You know, like, it wasn't someone who didn't deserve it. Like, I think Beyoncé deserves it. Honestly, I'm sure most of the people who were nominated deserved it. I'm just saying personally, I was rooting for Billie. Staying on Billie, I want to talk about her performance of Birds of a Feather. Like, why couldn't she just perform it by herself? She was literally just singing the actual track, and all the people who were on stage with instruments were faking it. Like, we're not actually playing. If you could tell, they were not playing. If you're just going to sing over the track, perform it by yourself. I don't really understand why she had a backing band who was just there for decoration and they weren't actually playing. I mean, besides Phineas, I think Phineas deserves to be on stage too. Even if he was there with acoustic, that would have been fine. But I did like the scenery that she had in the background, how it was like LA themed, and she had pictures of her and Phineas as a child, like in spots of LA. I thought that was really cool. Okay, next thing on the list is Kendrick Lamar Sweep. I like Kendrick Lamar. I really do. I'm a fan of him. I've always been a fan of Kendrick, genuinely for years. I love his music. I love him. I love his songs. I've been listening to him for a while. I will listen to anything that he comes out with. Record of the Year came first, and he won that. I was like, oh wow, like, I was genuinely not expecting him to win that. Not because Not Like Us isn't a good song. That's a really good song. I don't know, maybe because it was technically a diss track. Like, I just didn't think that it was gonna win. I was happy to see him winning, like, genuinely. Like, I was very happy to see that he won that. But then when he won Song of the Year, again, so surprised. I kind of wish someone else won at least one of them, just because I like variety and I like different people winning, like, honestly. And again, I like Kendrick Lamar, but I just don't think that he needed to sweep, and I didn't think that he needed to win both Song and Record of the Year. Sabrina's performance, I thought, was super interesting. This is not even really coming from, like, a Sabrina fan. I don't listen really to her music that much. I don't follow her or follow what she does, but, you know, I think she's cool. I liked how the bit was like, oh, like, making mistakes. People were like, wait, why is she, like, messing up what's going on? I don't understand how people were so confused and, like, didn't know that it was a bit. Like, the first thing that she did, I think, was dropping the baton. Right away, I was like, okay, so this is the bit. Like, that's funny. Like, this is like this is comedy. This is funny. And I just thought that was really funny and clever, and I applaud her for doing that. And she could put on a show. She is a performer. I thought Charli's performance was so, like, good and funny because she literally just replicated a club scene on stage. Like, at the Grammys, she literally replicated a club scene, and I just thought it was so, like, lighthearted. Same thing with Sabrina's, like, the making the mistakes thing as the bit. Both of those performances were just so lighthearted and exactly what we need. I applaud Charli for literally just partying on stage. Like, yes, we need to see more of that. Not everything has to be so serious all the time. You know what I mean? Like, let's have some fun. Next we have Chappell Roan. Wow. Same thing. I'm not, like, an active fan of her either. I do know some of her songs. But wow, her speech, like, I am still thinking about that speech. That was so memorable. Thought it was genuinely so cool and brave of her to give that speech. She literally won a Grammy, went up on stage, and instead of talking about herself and making it about her, she actually, like, used her platform to, like, try to make a difference. All I know is that I saw that speech and my jaw was dropped. She really just went up on stage and tried to make an impact and called out the music industry and labels. Big applaud to her for doing that and using her platform to, like, try to make an impact and to make a difference and to call the labels out about mistreating their artists and not paying them enough, because it's such a real thing. such a real thing. Another thing I want to bring up is while watching, I was really confused why Tyler, the Creator, or Kendrick Lamar's new album wasn't nominated for Album of the Year or for anything. I was also confused why Chappell Roan's album, The Fall and Rise of a Midwest Princess, was nominated, because I knew that album came out September 22nd, 2023. So I was just really confused because I thought that the only stuff that could be nominated was from 2024. I thought like the window was like the last year. So I looked it up and I was wrong, and this makes so much sense. The window of being nominated for Album of the Year is September 16th, 2023 to August 30th, 2024. It makes so much sense now because I was so confused why Tyler or Kendrick's album weren't nominated, because they were like so good, definitely Grammy worthy. I guess they'll be nominated for the next Grammys in 2026, which is kind of crazy. Next thing I want to talk about is Olivia Rodrigo and her outfit, like what she was wearing. And I actually want to make a whole video about Olivia Rodrigo soon, so that will be coming. Stay tuned for that. First of all, Olivia looked really good in her simple black dress. Something that I have appreciated about her is how true to herself she has stayed throughout her career. And that was the first thing that came to my head when I saw her on the red carpet, and she was literally just wearing like a very simple but stunning black dress, because you're so used to seeing artists like dress up so much or like change their hair, change their looks, change their style drastically throughout their years, throughout their careers, and especially for red carpets and award shows. Everyone just like kind of uses that as a time to like wear something crazy, or to just like make a huge statement, or something that they would never wear. But literally, Olivia has stayed so true to herself. She has never changed her hair. She always has like the same sort of makeup, like literally just wore a simple black dress. Like you could just tell she wants to be herself, and she's not interested in fitting some sort of Hollywood mold or changing every year, changing her hair every year, like wearing something crazy. Like, no, she just wants to be herself. She's trying to stay true to herself, and I just literally like respect that so much for her. Even with her music, with how she looks, how like her style, just everything, you could just tell she is like the same person before fame as she is now. There's 3 more things I want to talk about. I'm gonna make these really fast because I don't have much to say on them. When Cynthia performed Fly Me to the Moon, wow, her voice just is incredible. She is such a good singer. Like, I have only seen her in Wicked, and I knew she was a good singer, but like watching her sing live, her voice is just like angelic. I was just like, whoa. Next is Jacob Collier. This one was like super weird because I did not know that he was nominated for Album of the Year. That was like a shock. And obviously he like performed, he was playing piano, and I saw that he was there, so I was like, oh, okay, like maybe he's like performing. I just feel like they did not give that man like any like publicity. They didn't really do much for him. Like, he didn't even get to perform his own song. He was literally on stage playing piano for someone else's song. And this is no hate to Jacob. Like, I like him. He seems cool. I was just like why did the Grammys like do him like that, you know? I don't know. And the last one is Benson Boone. It cannot be just me, but did like y'all not know who that guy was until the Grammys? I literally had no idea who he was. He just looks like, I don't know, the stash and the mullet. Like, he literally looks like a guy that I would see out, or he looks like a college kid. Like, I was genuinely like, who is this man? And then he was like nominated for Best New Artist, and then he literally performed. Like, I thought he did really good. I thought the song that he was performing was like super good, and he was like flipping on stage. It was so random, but you know, good for him. And I looked it up. He's only 22, and apparently he dropped out of BYU. So hi, I literally forgot to talk about Jaden Smith and his outfit. I just wanted to say that I thought it was cool, and a lot of people have been saying that he was like worst dressed, but I just like don't understand why we're hating on it. Like, yeah, he was wearing a cool, unique headpiece. Like, it was weird. Yeah, it's like, whoa, it's so like out of the ordinary, but like, why do we have to like hate on people doing unique things? Like, who cares? So yeah, that was my thoughts, recap, review on Grammys 2025. I thought it was a very memorable, jam-packed show. It's kind of like turning to like younger artists, all that stuff, like my generation, like they're starting to rise, Gen Z, like love all the representation. There's probably a lot of stuff that I missed, a lot of controversies that I missed, but I was not talking about the drama. It was just my own thoughts, literally my own personal opinions that I thought while I was watching. So I hope you enjoyed, and you can comment below what you thought about the Grammys and like your most memorable moments. And I will see you in the next video.